So does any angel claim this honorific title? The answer should be no, right?
What honorific title? You keep saying there's an honorific title.
Listen, brother.
There is no honorific title, dude.
The honorific title that's found in Jubilee, the angel of the presence. Does anybody claim that title?
Nobody claims,
thank you.
Bro. Nobody
I just said
claims
the answer should be no, so thank you. Okay, so the answer should be no.
All right,
so we're building a case.
Hold on. Your question was there anybody else?
Right, and I reworded it. Right. I reworded it for you, right? You didn't hear me reword it, right?
Oh, you said the same thing twice.
No, I said, is there any angel? The second time I said, is there any angel? I reworded it, man.
Yeah, there's no angel that claims to be the angel of the presence.
Okay, thank you. All right, so there's no angel that claims.
So you can't say this is Gabriel, definitively.
Are you gonna let me build the case or no, man? Good God.
Go ahead, bro.
Thank you. So no one claims it. So we're not. So we can't point to some other angel. All we can do is speculate. So we're all speculating here. All right. So on 11,
I don't agree with that I don't agree with.
Gonna make this a real short intro, guys. Dom defends. If you are not subscribed to this young brother yet, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Please pause this video, open another tab, go to his channel, hit that sub button, and keep your eye out on this dude because he is fierce. Now, the night before this video took place, Abu Nuri and I once again engaged on someone else's panel about Gabriel supposedly being the one who introduced himself to Muhammad. And his methodology to arrive at this conclusion, guys, is unorthodox at best, and you guys are going to see exactly what I'm talking about. Refer to the other video that transpired right before this where I spoke to him and General Creed in the same night. But I want you guys to watch carefully how Dom systematically defends the ridiculous notion that Muhammad would have jumped through every hoop to come to the conclusion that he did, especially for an illiterate man. Check this out.
Does anybody else, any other angel in the
yes
Bible?
Or no question, brother. That's a yes or no question.
Yeah, because it's an exclusive verse to him. Is there any? If you give me 1 second. Is there any other verse in the entirety of the Bible that says this about any other angel that's mentioned by name?
Well, there are plenty of angels that stand in the presence of God. We go to Isaiah 6. There's seraphim that are in the presence of God, which is why they have their wings covered, their face and their feet and their hands and whatnot, and they proclaim holy, holy, holy in the presence of God all day and all night without ceasing. But you don't read the Bible. I forgot.
So they
you don't read.
So they proclaim the holy, holy, holy all day and all night. So they're not running down the earth revealing stuff to Moses, right?
They're in the presence of God. Neither Gabriel.
Thank you.
Hold on. You just asked me. Wait. You just asked me. Is there any other angel that's referenced to being in the presence of God besides Gabriel? Yeah, the seraphim. Now you're shifting the goalposts and saying, well, they ain't running down the earth for them. That's Moses. Neither did Gabriel. Gabriel didn't reveal anything to Moses. When that Gabriel verse, he's talking to Mary. Oh no, sorry, talking to Zechariah. So wrong on both fronts, on both ends. So I'm gonna ask you a question again though, because you never actually answered my question.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you think that there's zero difference between being in the presence of God and being the angel of the presence of God? You think there's zero difference?
Yeah, since Gabriel is the only person that makes this claim, I don't see how we could say that there is somebody else that this applies to.
Wait, so since you think Gabriel is the only one that makes the claim that he stands in the presence of God, that means that Gabriel is the only one that stands in the presence of God?
No, that doesn't mean that he's the only one that stands in the presence of God.
Okay. So then it's not just Gabriel that's mutually exclusive to being the angel that stands in the presence of God. Therefore, it can't be Gabriel that's definitively the angel of the presence, huh?
Yeah, so is this an honorific title, sir?
What the? So he's just gonna not answer my question? So you just gonna duck and weave, huh?
You didn't hear me ask you directly the first time.
You
didn't hear me ask you directly the first time.
I need you to answer the question, okay?
So you didn't hear me answer definitively.
Since Gabriel, just because Gabriel says he stands in the presence of God, doesn't mean that Gabriel is the only angel that stands in the presence of God. Then you can't make a definitive statement. Then you can't make a definitive statement that it's Gabriel that's the angel of the presence, can you?
Yeah, we're making the case for that now, sir.
Yeah, I don't think you're not tracking. You're not following.
So far, yeah. Can we make it definitive? Can we make it definitively? No, sir.
Hold on, bro. I'm falsifying your claim. I'm showing you how I am. You've made the assertion that we can conclude this because Gabriel is the only one that states, I stand in the presence of God. But that's a false preposition, because just because Gabriel in the scripture states that he's the one that stands in the presence of God, he doesn't say he's the only one that stands in the presence of God. And there's other scriptures where other angels are standing in the presence of God. So then when you try to reduce down that it's Gabriel that's purported to be the angel of the presence, which is a completely different title and denotes a completely different thing to the intellect, you can't make that conclusion. That doesn't follow. That's a non sequitur, sir.
Okay, now that you broke that down, can I speak, sir?
Yeah, bro.
And all the questions you asked, I'm pretty sure I answered directly at this point.
You didn't answer anything, dog, at all. What's up? But go ahead, dog. Do you think?
So I didn't give you straight yes and no's.
No, of course not. Like what? It wasn't straight.
I forgot. I forgot y'all.
Scalloped a little bit. But go ahead.
I guess.
Hey, Abu, nobody. Right. I'm gonna make sure nobody mutes you, Abu. I don't want anybody. I don't want to make it clear. I want nobody muting him at all. Okay, they're having a good conversation. I want to add some clarity to what you were saying, Dom, and for you, Abu Nuri, because you asked a question that I didn't get to last night, and I apologize. I had to run, but my son was already waiting for me. Revelation 8:2. I saw the 7 angels who stand before God. You already know Luke 1:19, right? Daniel 7, the same thing. So do these 7 angels in Revelation standing before God. They're all the same thing in Revelation. So all throughout the Bible, we have angels in and around the vicinity and in the presence of God, just to make that clear. All right, go ahead, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right. Just like the cherubim on the Ark of the Covenant are obviously in the presence of God, right? So, yeah, that's
so then they're not Gabriel, huh? So you can't, then it doesn't logically follow to say that then Gabriel is the angel of the presence. That's a non sequitur.
Right, so I'm acknowledging all that. So obviously I must have some type of point I'm trying to argue, right? So here's the point. So is there any other specific angel that claims this honorific title? That should be easy, simple, yes or no.
Well, again, no, but it's a false statement because you think that Gabriel is claiming a title. Gabriel doesn't say that he's the angel of the presence. He says he stands in the presence of God. This is an adjective. Okay. This is an action that he does. This is not a title that he has. So again, it's a false claim, false premise that you're trying to support on Gabriel.
No, so we're building up. So far I'm saying, all right, so let's reword it. So does any angel claim this honorific title? The answer should be no, right?
What honorific title? You keep saying there's an honorific title.
Listen, brother.
There is no honorific title, dude.
The honorific title that's found in Jubilee, the angel of the presence. Does anybody claim that title?
Nobody claims, bro. Nobody claims that.
Should be no. So thank you. Okay, so the answer should be no.
You just
all right, so we're building a case.
Hold on. Your question was there anybody else?
Right, and I reworded it. Right. I reworded it for you, right? You didn't hear me reword it, right?
Oh, you said the same thing twice.
No, I said, is there any angel? The second time I said, is there any angel? I reworded it, man.
Yeah, there's no angel that claims to be the angel of the presence.
Okay, thank you. All right, so there's no angel that claims.
So you can't say this is Gabriel, definitively.
Are you gonna let me build the case or no, man? Good God.
Go ahead, bro.
Thank you. So no one claims it. So we can't point to some other angel. All we can do is speculate. So we're all speculating here. All right. So on 11,
I don't agree with that. That I don't agree with. I don't think we can speculate. I think we can deduce. The scripture who the angel of the presence is.
Who?
Jesus Christ.
The angel of the presence is Jesus Christ?
The one that appeared to Moses. Okay, amen. Of course.
When did Jesus say he appeared to Moses as the angel of the Lord?
He doesn't have to say it. I said we can deduce. Do you see? Listen. What you got to do, Bodie, is you got to take the sugar daddy. You got to get it out your ears. You got to listen to what I'm actually saying. The words that actually come out of my mouth. I didn't say Jesus says it. I said we can deduce. You know what deduction means? We can take premises that have evidential claims, and then we can bring these together and come to a conclusion that points to the definitive statement that Jesus is the angel of the present.
Yeah, thanks for the English lessons. I heard you the first time. All I was doing, yeah. 1 second. So all I was doing was, we'll see. All I was doing was getting you to state it again. So we're using deductive reasoning. No problem, brother. So Jesus doesn't say it definitively. We're using deductive reason. I just needed that to be emphasized. So show me the deductive reasoning you're using for that claim, and then I'll show you the evidence for mine.
Sure, no problem. So the angel of the presence, the angel is the same angel of the covenant. The angel of the covenant is said to be the Ha'adon of Malachi 3:1 that's specifically coming to his temple, that's having his way prepared for. Luke 7:27 says that the messenger that came to prepare that way was John to prepare the way for himself. So the one who came, the Ha'adon, the messenger of the great covenant, that made the covenant with Israel, that was the angel of the presence that spoke to Moses, is Jesus Christ.
So basically, you're saying the strongest thing that I've heard you say so far is in the prophecy, the angel is supposed to be preparing the way for Yahweh, correct?
No, I'm gonna do it slower for you. Maybe I spoke too fast.
Yeah,
In Malachi 3:1, no, it's okay. It's okay. Just relax. Listen this time. Listen with your ears, not your butt. Listen with your ears. In Malachi 3:1, there's a messenger that's being said to prepare the way for the Ha'adon. But then the Ha'adon, which is exclusively used for the Most High God, is said to be the angel of the covenant. So there's a messenger sent, and then there's somebody coming. The one that's specifically coming is the angel of the covenant.
Hold on, real fast.
Luke 7:27. Now Luke 7:27. Now Luke 7:27. Now Luke 7:27.
You got to go back to it, but that's cool.
Now Luke 7:27. Jesus quotes Malachi 3:1 to illuminate that it was John the Baptist that's the first messenger that's sent to prepare the way for the Most High that's coming, or for the Ha'adon that's coming. And he's playing that's himself, because he says, I send my messenger ahead of you to prepare your way before you. So the one that John the Baptist prepared the way for is the messenger of the covenant that's called the Ha'adon, which is exclusive to the Most High God.
Okay, thank you. So I was trying to catch you before you did all that, but it's all good. So let's go back. So you said there's a prophecy about the Ha'adon, the way being prepared for the Ha'adon, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you said that Ha'adon is the angel of the Lord?
Angel of the covenant, in that same verse, it says even the messenger of the covenant, or the angel of the covenant, behold, he is coming.
So so this is speaking about the same individual and not another one?
Even means namely. Do you know what namely means?
Yeah.
What does namely mean?
Namely, so if I say something, namely John, then we're speaking about John.
Okay, so you don't know what namely means. Namely means specifically, like, or particularly, right?
That's my example.
Namely, or particularly, or specifically, the angel of the covenant. The specific.
That's the same example like I just gave.
Behold, he's coming.
Can you give me the chapter and verse one more time? You said Malachi 3:1.
Malachi 3:1, Brody. It's not very.
You got a lot of extra stuff going on, G.
Yeah, Malachi 3:1. I'm sorry, guys. Behold, I send my messenger, and he will prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to his temple. And the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight, behold, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts.
Yeah. So if you go to the Greek or to read the KJV, it'll say, even the messenger of the covenant in whom you delight. I said that's slow. I don't know why you're saying for.
Because you talking about the key KJV.
I said if you go to the Greek or the KJV, are you all right?
You said the Greek one. Why can't I read the Hebrew?
It'll say E. Do you think the KJV is not English, sir?
Say what?
Do you? Hey, are you good?
We're talking, yeah, man.
Are you okay?
Man.
Are you hearing?
Yeah,
like, what's up with
so I got you. So if I'm talking about Hebrew or Greek, why the hell are you bringing up an English translation?
I said if you go to either the Greek or the KJV,
right,
it can say even, which will mean namely or specifically.
Yeah, and I said I'm going to the Hebrew.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm getting away from obviously I'm getting away from an English translation, man. What's wrong with you?
Regardless, the display is that it's going to say even to denote that it's the angel of the covenant. The grammar is going to display that or denote that it's the angel of the covenant that's specifically coming. What's up with Bud?
I'm sorry, I'm just reading the verse.
All right. How long you gonna be, buddy?
While he's reading it, what is the point?
Other people waiting.
Or what is the context of this?
Well, Joe, Abu Nuri makes the argumentation that Muhammad was able to ascertain Gabriel's identity essentially through the title of the Angel of the Presence of God, in which he inferred he got it from the Book of Jubilee, but the Book of Jubilee doesn't say that. So he connected the Book of Jubilee to Luke 1:19, where Gabriel says that he stands in the presence of God, and therefore his conclusion is that Gabriel is claiming this title of the Angel of the Presence of God for himself. That's essentially where it comes from. And then somehow is saying that Muhammad utilized that information to ascertain this identity of Gabriel.
Yeah, that's way beyond my.
Yeah, it's very involved. Very involved.
I'm just here to respond.
Go ahead, Abu. Go ahead, brother.
So I read it. So it's kind of, I guess you can interpret it that way. That's fine. It doesn't say namely or even or specifically. It doesn't have any modifier like that in the actual Hebrew. It just says that the Lord is going to come to the temple, and then it mentions the angel of the presence. Now, I can interpret this that the Yahweh is going to come to the temple to the angel of the presence, but you can interpret it that way as well.
It doesn't even say that at all. It says, bro, it literally says, my messenger I'm sending, behold, I'm sending my messenger suddenly before my face, the way he will prepare, right? For my face, my tane, right? And he will prepare a place. And the Lord, the Ha'adon, whom you will suddenly come to his temple, right? In whom you delight, the covenant and the messenger, right? The covenant and the messenger of the covenant, the Habaret Umalach, right? That's going to be denoting that the messenger specifically is the one that's coming. He is coming. It didn't say he's coming, that the Lord is coming too. There's no grammatical syntax that indicates that. The messenger of the covenant is the one that's coming.
Yeah, so behold, I'm looking at the Hebrew and the English. So behold, I will send my messenger. So who is I? Anyways, I will send.
The messenger is going to be John the Baptist here. That's totally fine. And he's going to prepare the way before his face, right?
Now, brother, I'm talking about here in Malachi, John the Baptist is speaking.
In Malachi, John the Baptist isn't speaking.
So who is the I here?
That can denote the Father. That's totally fine. We know this because of Luke 7:27.
No problem. Behold, I, i.e. the Father, will send my messenger who will prepare the way before me. It says, Hadon, then the Lord whom you seek will suddenly come to the temple.
Yes.
The messenger of the covenant in whom you delight.
He is coming. Behold, he's coming. That's the one that's actually coming. The specific one that's coming is that Ha'adon, that's the messenger of the covenant.
Okay. Yeah, this seems very complicated, but no problem.
This is fourth grade grammar. I don't even know what you mean complicated, dog.
you said it's fourth grade grammar. So did the
that's
obviously
fourth grade grammar.
Did the Jews that were higher than fourth grade grammar understand it this way?
Well, the Jews reject their Messiah, so they're going to be.
We're talking about grammar. G, stop shifting the goalposts.
Yeah. So if you heard what I said, right? Because you, again, something about your ears today. They just
a lot of nonsense.
They just blinking off. So look, if you're blind to the scriptures, your grammar is not going to be applicable.
Here we go.
Are you okay?
Yeah, man.
What's up with you?
Hey,
Wait. Do you think? Wait. Hold on. Abu, do you think that if you're blind to the scriptures, then your grammar is going to be applicable to the scriptures and accurate? If you're blind to the scriptures?
Yeah, was I blind to the scriptures when I was a Christian?
Hey, bro, I'm asking you. I don't know you, bruh. I'm asking you in a general sense. If someone is blind to the scriptures, is their grammar going to be accurate and applicable if they're blind to the scriptures?
Yeah, so what you're saying is the reality, then sure.
Yes, they're so you said yes. You said sure.
I'm saying you're right, assuming that what you're saying is right. Yeah.
What am I right about?
Blind, and if somebody's blind to the scriptures, if we assume that that's correct, then their grammar, they're not going to understand anything of it. They're just blind.
Got it. Cool. So then when you ask him about the Jews, you can say that was a stupid question, right?
Nah, because what you were saying was just about grammar, but not spiritual blindness. You shifted the goalposts, but that's fine.
Do you think spiritual blindness doesn't affect your grammar?
Did you mention spiritual blindness or just grammar? Or should I just?
What you said was, were the Jews? Was it fourth grade grammar? Do the Jews that they didn't understand this? That's higher than fourth grade grammar? Did they understand this? understand this. That's what you said.
Exactly.
You said hold on. You said understand this. Well, now that denotes spiritual understanding, enlightenment. Well, I said, well, the Jews are blind to the scriptures. Do you think understanding the scriptures does not denote spiritual enlightenment?
Hey man, if we're just talking about grammar, and I go, why do you keep talking over me, bro?
Do this with you?
Why do you keep talking over me, bro? Calm the hell down and allow me to speak, please.
Listen, though. The reason why
I'm not listening to. I'm blind right now.
So the reason why I have to keep doing this with you is because you do things like, hey, you go, what? When I say something very simple, very rudimentary. And so I have to like break it down to you as if you're a child instead of a grown adult. So, bruv, since they are spiritually blind, any of their cognitive application to the scripture is going to be compromised. So when I talk to you about 4th grade grammar and then you bring in the Jews, that's stupid. Because not even the Jews would understand this, because they would be rejecting their God, their Messiah, and they won't understand the scriptures, so their grammar wouldn't matter. But you're not a Jew. So when we read and break it down, we can use our grammar that we learned in 4th grade that you're struggling with currently.
Can I speak now, or you finished you?
Sure, go ahead, bro.
All right, man. Yeah, when you're just talking about grammar, man, when we're just talking about grammar and syntax and sentence structure, there's nothing that indicates we're talking about spiritual blindness or awareness. Just stop shifting the goalposts, bro. All of that was a waste of time. Let's get back to
okay.
it, bro.
Hold on. So you said something stupid again, so I have to keep addressing it. You said when we're talking about just grammar, that's not going to indicate anything about spiritual blindness or X, Y, Z. I'm going to ask you again. Abu.
Did your teachers in your English class ask you about spirituality?
If someone is spiritually blinded, right, and they read the scriptures that are spiritual books, spiritual scriptures, is their application when it comes to the grammar and the meaning and the syntax going to be compromised if they're spiritually blinded, Abu?
I thought I already answered that. Assuming that that's the case, then yeah.
So then it's not shifting the goalpost, then, goofball. It's relevant.
It is.
Like, what are you talking about?
Let me show you why it's not for the last time, bro. If you're just asking me why it's not about spirituality until you shift the goalpost. If what you're saying to me,
you're misusing that, right?
I'm not, bro. Let's calm down for 1 second, please.
Okay, I want you to say what you're going to say, and then I want you to define shifting the goalpost and tell me how I did it. Go ahead.
All right, no problem, man. Anyways, so if what you're saying to me is this right here is just grammar. This is simple grammar to understand. That does not, you're not saying you would understand it if you were spiritually aware. You just saying by yourself that this is simple 4th grade grammar that any 4th grader can understand. This has nothing to do with spiritual awareness. So where you're shifting the goalposts is now you're saying, oh, well, it's not going to be simple to understand because I bring up the Jews. It's not going to be simple to understand for the Jews because they're spiritually unaware. We've gone from it just being simple grammar to now you can't grasp the simple grammar for spiritual reasons. That's where the shifting of the goalpost is. You still want me to explain what shifting the goalpost is?
Yeah. Can you define shifting the goalpost?
Yeah, that's when you're bringing up one thing. You're bringing up one thing, and
I need a definition, like the actual definition.
You want like a Webster definition for shifting the goalpost?
I would like, of course. I don't care about your Ebonic type.
Show it to me in Webster.
Huh?
Show it to me in Webster. Show me shifting the goalpost in Webster. Or is this like colloquial English? You sound crazy as hell right now.
I can show you I can just read out the Webster if you want to see which one is specifically.
If you got Webster, hell yeah, put me on, bro. Learn every day.
Okay, give me a second. To change the rules or requirements in a way that makes success more difficult. That's the Webster definition.
That like you're reading that from Webster.
Yep. I'm putting on my screen.
Oh, you just put me on. Okay, yeah, you just put no, that's good. You just put me on. Anyways, yeah. So thanks for defining that. Is that what I'm saying? You did here.
Here. I don't know if it'll show while I'm on.
No, we can see it.
It's showing.
Yeah, we can see it.
It's showing.
Yeah, we can see it perfectly. Yeah, appreciate that. So is what it describes, is that what I'm saying you're doing here?
No, I didn't change any rules or requirements in a way to make success more difficult. You asked me specifically Oh, is it grammar? Is it easy for the Jews to understand? That's higher than fourth grade grammar. You asked me about the Jews' ability.
Just real quick,
you asked me about the
clarifying question.
Why are you talking over me? You
I'm
asked me
asking
about
a clarifying
the Jews'
question.
ability. Hold on. You asked about the Jews' ability to understand
To understand fourth grade grammar
and understand the grammar that the scriptures articulated.
Okay.
Since you asked me that question, I didn't change any rules. I didn't change any requirements or anything. I gave you the explanation as to why they wouldn't understand this, because they're spiritually blind to the scriptures, which is what we're reading. The scriptures that compromises their reading cognition. So I didn't change any rules. I didn't change any requirements. I didn't change any of that makes success more difficult.
So very quickly. So you're basically saying that it went from being about the level of the grammar to being about the level of spiritual awareness, and you don't see that as a change. No problem. Let's just move on, brother.
You breaking up.
I said basically, so you don't see the change in you making it about the level of grammar that's being used, changing it to the level of spiritual awareness a person has. You don't see that as a change.
I didn't change that. I didn't change that at all.
You got
hold on, Abu. I didn't change the level of grammar at all. You asked me about the Jews. You're not tracking.
If they understood basic grammar.
You asked me about the Jews, about if they would understand this grammar. I said, no, the Jews will not understand this grammar. Here's why, though. Because they're spiritually blinded.
So it wasn't about whether they're
So I did not change any rules. I did not change any requirements. I did not change anything to make success difficult, bro. You're just
so basically it went from being whether the grammar is fourth grade or college level to how much spiritual awareness one has. No problem, man.
No, that's not true.
Never mind.
The grammar stays fourth grade, bro. But if you don't have the cognition because you're spiritually blinded to understand even fourth grade grammar, you're still not going to understand fourth grade grammar.
All right, so it's not about cognition. So it doesn't matter about your education.
Hold on, bro. Again, I kept it at cognition. You asked me about the Jews that have an issue with their cognition because of the spiritual blindness. But again, you're not tracking.
Right.
You're doing terrible right now. Can we move on with the conversation?
It's me lacking the Holy Spirit. Let's move on, bro.
Okay, cool. I mean, you said it, not me. But anywho, so, sir, I gave you the deduction as to why the angel of presence is Jesus Christ. Do you have any contentions with that, or you don't have any contentions with that, and you want to give your deduction of why it's Gabriel? You want me to engage in that?
Yeah, my contention would be anytime that this angel of the presence or the angel of the Lord, because you're saying it's the angel of the Lord. So I think that the angel in the Lord is an interpolation in the Bible.
That's your opinion. I don't care.
It's not my opinion.
That is your opinion.
Your Christian scholar opinion.
That is your opinion. So when you say interpolation, you're saying when you say interpolation, you're saying that in the Old Testament, Malachi Yahweh is not there in the manuscripts?
No, it's definitely there. It's called the interpolation theory. It's a scholarly position. I'm sure you've heard about it, right?
When you say what do you mean by interpolation, sir?
That means it was added into the scriptures. They're trying to explain something.
Okay. What's added? Specific the term angel of Yahweh?
The term angel.
The term so you're saying right now if we go to the manuscripts.
The manuscripts are going to say
the term Malach is not going to be there?
No, they're going to say the angel of Yahweh. It's going to say it just like that. The angel of Yahweh. Malachi Yahweh.
So then what's the interpolation?
They added the word angel, man.
When did they add the word angel? They added the word angel to what?
They added the word angel to the actual Bible, bro. It's actual manuscripts.
When?
Yeah, this would have been like 600 BCE or before. Deuteronomy wasn't actually composed until like 622.
Okay, so they added the term. So okay, what can you show what the manuscripts said beforehand?
Beforehand, of course not. We don't have those manuscripts.
Okay, so then this is just speculation. It's a moot point.
It's not speculation.
It literally is. If you cannot prove or show evidence that previous manuscripts did not have Malach in there.
Mm-hmm. I got you. So let me show you why the sugar in my ears, whatever you said, helps out. Remember how you said something and I purposely made you repeat it? That is not verbatim in the text, but you're using deduction. So now I'm going to reference that. No, hold on. So now we're going to reference that we can use deductive reasoning. That's why I made sure we emphasize that. So the scholars use deductive reasoning to come to the conclusion that the word angel was added.
Based on what evidence?
Yeah, based on the grammar in the verses, based on how the verses sit unnatural. There's all types of reasons that comes to this conclusion.
What? So some more speculation, bro. What are you talking about?
You said is this a scholarly position or not, bro?
I don't. Of course, I don't believe. I do not believe this the scholarly consensus position that Malachi was an interpolation in the Old Testament scriptures, bro.
Hey, so right now,
one or two outlier. You might be able to find one or two outliers, supposed scholars, but I do not believe that's a consensus.
Hey, brother, this is a mainstream view. What are you talking about, bro? Do you know anything about the interpolation theory?
Okay. So
can you please engage with that, please?
Brother, all you got to do is substantiate your claim. That's it.
No problem. Can you engage with that, please?
I just
can you engage? No, you're not. Let me say it again. Can you engage with the fact that I'm saying this is a mainstream academic view?
I know that's your claim. I'm asking you to substantiate the claim that this is the mainstream consensus of scholars that the term Malach was an interpolation of the Hebrew manuscripts, and beforehand it didn't say Malach. Go ahead and substantiate that claim.
It doesn't sound like that's what I said. That sounds like that's what you said.
All right, bro. I'm almost over this conversation.
I said that.
I'm almost over this conversation, man.
I'm sure that you are. I'm sure that you are.
Buddy's just yapping at this point. Hey, one more time. I'm gonna give you the opportunity, Abu. I'm gonna give you the opportunity. Go ahead and please substantiate your claim that the consensus of the scholars denote that the term Malach is an interpolation and is not in manuscripts beforehand.
Hey, bro, like, in all seriousness, are you purposely being dense? What's going on here? Did I use the word consensus?
Can we move on, please?
Okay.
All right. I mean, hey guys, listen. That's I listen. And here's the thing. It was a great. Thank you, Abu Nuri, for coming up. These are the things essentially I was trying to say to him last night, Dom, as you were there to witness. The best point, in my opinion, for this conversation, guys, was exactly what Dom said. Is that Gabriel stating that he is standing in the presence of God is not him claiming the title of the presence of God, right? The angel of the presence of God. It's not the same thing. But, the only thing I'm sad about that, Dom, is that I wanted so badly to hear how he was correlating the angel of the presence to Muhammad, because unfortunately, that would have been the part that was hardest for him to explain, right? And that's what Abu. Hey, listen, you can't complain. He says you guys can only last with the mute button and over talk. Like, bro, you guys heard I said don't mute him. Nobody muted him, right? Nobody muted him, so he cannot claim that. That's exactly. Actually, Dom, I think Dom, in my opinion, guys, did a better job than I did last night, because Dom took him deep into the theology. And in case you guys didn't notice, Abu, he conceded. He considered, okay, well, all right, whatever. Then he appealed to scholarship. Didn't name a single scholar, right? And here's the thing, guys. When you say stuff, and Muslims, don't let Muslims get away with this, guys. They say scholarship, right? They say what the Jews used to believe. It is very easy to prove that the Jews used to believe that the angel of the Lord was God, that the angel of the presence was God, right? That God was multi-personal. This is what they used to believe. There are countless books on this from actual rabbinic scholars who say that it was only the events of the life and ministry of Jesus Christ that started to cause them to eisegete their own texts, because they had to, in order to preclude Jesus Christ as the Son of God, as the angel of the Lord, so on and so forth, right? So don't let them get away with it, guys. Do not let them change history. But Dom, excellent job. I didn't think it was going to go any other way but that anyway. Elijah Kenny says, what is this guy's obsession with Gabriel? Why does he keep arguing about it? And how in the world does that help Islam's argument? Genuine question. I will answer that question right now because it's a good question, Elijah. And it's actually my fault that he's obsessed with this subject matter. So it's not him. Belt Boy getting the belt from Elijah Kenny 199. Yeah, thank you. So this question right here, it does bear an answer, guys. So I have presented the argument several times that Muhammad never actually met the angel Gabriel, and then we actually use their own text, their own narrations, their own scripture against them, because the way it's broken down essentially is this, guys. The Quran says that Gabriel was the one who carried the message of the Quran down upon the heart of Muhammad, right? If that statement is incorrect, that means the entirety of the Quran is incorrect as well, because they say it can't even have one false statement. We know that statement is false. We know that Gabriel did not identify himself. I will give props to Abu Nuri for this. He doesn't lie the way that Korah lies about it and says that Gabriel identified himself outside of the cave, and then she will appeal to da'if hadith and things that are actually very provably false. At least he's not being that deceptive about it. He's doing mental gymnastics. But the problem is, Elijah, he understands that because we are showing on a regular basis that Muhammad never actually met the angel Gabriel, it means that everything after that is false, right? Because he never met the angel Gabriel. And guys, we don't even need just the identification for that. We can look at the behavior pattern of the real angel Gabriel, right? His modus operandi, the fact that Muhammad felt like it was Satan who approached him, the fact that he felt humiliated, the fact that this entity didn't even know that God did not create human beings from a cloud of blood, just like so many different things, right? So the reason he's obsessed with this, Elijah, essentially, is because he called in one time. He lost a debate to me on that. Then he did it again to me last night while I was on someone else's. He lost it on that, and I wasn't even talking to him for more than 8-10 minutes. And then he called in today, and Dom dominated him on it. Like, it wasn't even close. So yeah, guys, I mean, I'm sure now he's going to keep going out of his way, but understand the fact that you have to go to non-canonical books. You're going to the Book of Jubilee. You're not even understanding that physically standing in someone's presence is not the same as claiming a title, right? And then you're saying that Jewish commentary says that it was Gabriel. You're overlooking the fact that Jewish commentary on the Book of Jubilee is not even on a consensus on who this was. They even disagree with each other. Some people say it was Gabriel. Some people say it was a random high-ranking angel. Some say that it was Michael. Some say that it was Metatron. Some say that it was Enoch, right? So he has to desperately look at the one identity with the few commentators that agree with him and say, and therefore we know this was Gabriel. But notice, as Dom kept questioning him, did you see how his confidence deflated? And he was like, oh, okay, well, I guess, whatever. And it was very simple. And, he says that Dom was over-talking. I don't think that Dom was over-talking. I think that he was just holding him to a standard. And that's, they're not used to that. So great job on that, Dom. And one more super chat from Josh, who says, jacket tough and debate skills tough Dom. I don't know what that means.
I appreciate you, man.
We got Joe up here still for you, Dom. And then I don't know if we got another guest. So go ahead, brother. Appreciate that.